Gloria Steinem, heartbroken, admits shame and being ruined by Meghan. We are not related. Hello, and a very warm welcome to LVT News YouTube channel. I understand that she is getting on up in years, but still, shame on Gloria Steinem for praising and giving an award to this gold digger, who does not hesitate to abandon her own family just for a fistful of money. But today, we are finding out that Meghan and Gloria Steinem are actually not all that close. I think it's a load of BS. Decide what the PR machine wants us to believe. But maybe I'm wrong. As far as we can see, Gloria Steinem was absolutely devastated after her award ceremony was overshadowed from PR news from Meghan and Harry's alleged car chase. A person close to her claimed that Stein was feeling pretty irritated that so much information was focused solely on Meghan, instead of the impressive ceremony that she and her team worked so hard. The insider exclaims it is backfiring and they regret it. They were manipulated by her. Gloria bit off a bit more than she could chew when she teamed up with the Mexico. Now, she's publicly been made a fool of by a parent who was constantly on the hunt, specifically for the vulnerable. Gloria may have awarded Markle with the best of intentions after being called by the fraudster. I doubt she had any idea that when she publicly patted her on the back, she'd get the knife and hers in return, but she will. Now, let's see how long it takes Gloria to comment on the fact that her life's work was reduced to a staged photo op. This is not going to end well for Meghan or her trophy covered. And I do feel bad for Gloria Steinem. I mean, a long time ago, she was so relevant. But now she's basically in an acronym. She was probably so happy to be dragged into the spotlight again by what she may have believed was a woman of gravitas. Maybe she figured out that she was being used, or maybe she was just happy to get some publicity while it was. But it looks like she fell victim to Meghan. And like so many other people, she has been Markle. And she may be wondering what in the world just happened. On the other hand, I know nothing about her as a person, so maybe she's no better than Meghan. Who knows what kind of interactions and arrangements this very unlikely pair may have agreed upon. I do believe, though, that somebody with a more critical eye would never have allowed herself to be used like this. There is something very fishy about this whole situation, and is pretty disturbing, too. I mean, so many awards for no real achievement to claim. You want to do something and actually do it are two entirely different things. Meghan does a lot of talking, but realistically, she hasn't done anything, even if she is using these awards. Don't the organizations understand that they are lowering and cheapening their own brands by awarding Meghan Markle? I think the party is over for her. The more that her name is in the media, the better people see who she really is. There's one thing that comes to my mind. So Gloria is a real feminist. Nobody can deny that. And she has been for a long time. At this point, she's not relevant. But when I was young, she talked about real problems that women had to deal with, like pay inequality and aggressive male co-workers. Just think about that movie 9 to 5, which was a comedy. But still, it discussed some real problems that women had to face on a daily basis in the workplace and even beyond. I have to give her respect for still being who she is, and I do feel so bad that she got marked. It's not fair. Meghan, on the other hand, is just an opportunist. She's like a shark. So was this woman receiving an award 3 years ago? Absolutely not. How many years of real effort as a person need to do for an award? It seems like Meghan can just hit her little wagon to any charity for a very brief time. And then she gets an award for herself. People need to look into the criteria for a nomination for these awards. It seems like they're just handing them out to whoever. And I'm sure Meghan's paying for these awards anyway. It's real volunteers who are doing the real work every single day, and they don't do it for an award. They do it for the people they're working to help. They do it quietly with a lot of love in their hearts. And then Meghan waltzes in and waltzes out, and she gets all the accolades where her fake volunteer work. And the truth is, charity does begin at home. She needs to figure out how to love and care for her family. Some people are saying that Meghan Markle buys the awards by donating a lot of money. And I believe this 100%. And because of her relationship, she gives the organization a lot of free publicity. Well, I have never even heard of this award before. Meghan got it, and many other awards, too. I think the worst had to have been the award that was given to her by Kerry Kennedy Awards, given by the RFK Foundation. That was such a slap in the face. And I'm sure Kerry feels bad about what she did. She shouldn't really worry about it, though. Because, like so many other people, she was manipulated by Meghan. In her prime, Gloria would have had nothing to do with Meghan. Meghan would be disgusted by Steinem's aged appearance, and she doesn't have any respect for anyone, but especially anyone that has been ravaged by time, because she feels like she's seeing her future and she cannot handle that. Obviously, from the multiple surgeries and the posting of her refreshed face, age is something that Meghan simply cannot face. It's going to be very lonely, Meghan, especially for you. Another thing to consider is that many of these awards seem pretty goofy, and they're frequently given out, so they're meaningless. It's actually pretty outrageous when you stop and consider all the truly noble people out there who really are doing something meaningful to try to improve the world, and they never get any recognition, let alone awards for it. Back in the day, intelligent women made good changes in the right places. For example, my kids were raised understanding the truth of the so-called feminist viewed out. I absolutely love being a wife and a mother and a woman. My father respected me, my brothers respected me. My husband respected me, too. And my daughters are college educated. I also have very respectful sons-in-law. And personally, I appreciated having the privilege to stay home with my kids when they were young, instead of having to be out in the workplace. I didn't think it was a bad thing to be a stay-at-home mother. But at the same time, I've always had so much respect for single mothers. I mean, they have to do a lot of work. And so sometimes I would help them if I had the opportunity. Now, at this point, of course, I'm retired. I have had a great life. Poor Gloria Steinem now looks pitiful. Unfortunately, they brought her out on display. Well, Meghan did. In fact, and there was a reason behind it, and that reason was not to make her look good. It was to make Meghan look good. Gloria Steinem should have been able to retire in peace, and maybe she could have written a book and she could have opened her home to welcome a young generation to go visit her online or in person to learn some lessons from her. It looks like history is just repeating itself. So, Meghan games at nonsensical speech while accepting an award that she bought and paid for in front of a sparsely